everything, and I can't see it.
The Cardi girls, we're Cardi girls. I'm gonna say what we want. The Cardi girls, singing from the front. The Cardi girls, our mouths are our guns, and we here and fighting, cause it has to be done. We're gonna say what we want. The Cardi girls, singing from the front. The Cardi girls, our mouths are our guns, and we here and fighting, cause it has to be done. We're gonna say what we want. The Cardi girls, singing from the front. The Cardi girls, our mouths are our guns, and we here and fighting, cause it has to be done. We're Cardi girls, we're gonna say what we want. The Cardi girls, we're singing from the front. The Cardi girls, our mouths are our guns, and we here and fighting, cause it has to be done. The Cardi girls, we're gonna say what we want. The Cardi girls, we're singing from the front. The Cardi girls, our mouths are our guns, and we here and fighting, cause it has to be done. We're gonna say what we want. The Cardi girls, singing from the front. The Cardi girls, our mouths are our guns, and we here and fighting, cause it has to be done. Because it has to be done.
Hi, how are you?
Hello, I'm
How's
good.
your
How are
injury?
you?
Yeah, more's the point, how's your injury? Oh, look at
Wrong
that.
eye. Hang on, wrong eye. Hang on. I can't, hang on. No, that eye.
I know, it's in reverse. Yeah.
It's in reverse. Yeah, much better. No, haven't got any makeup on it or anything now, so much
Oh, that's
better.
good.
Except these teeth are still quite numb.
Mm,
The trigeminal nerve has been obliterated when I hit the concrete, so that could take months to get
yeah,
better.
right. Okay.
But I
As
mean,
long as
I'm getting used to it. I just feel like Bugs Bunny. My front teeth feel really like big because they're a bit numb.
you can't control them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
so
good. So what have you been up to?
trying to get into my MyGov account in Maine. I
Oh,
spent a couple of hours this morning trying to log into both mine, and then I tried my husband's MyGov account because we haven't done our tax returns yet, and I couldn't get in. It kept on saying that my username and password was wrong, and then which I knew that it wasn't. And then my husband said the same. And then when I went to ask for a code to be sent to verify it was me, I tried to about, I reckon, 15 times, both for me and my husband, to get either an SMS or an email, and nothing happened.
I wonder
So-
where the code went.
I wonder where the code went. Exactly. That's what I'd like to know. Where did that code go? Or are they trying to make everyone sign up for either that digital ID or that pass key, whichever it is? So you've got three options to log in. Where's my camera? Three. So one's digital, one's a pass key, and one's just using your username and password and getting an SMS to your phone. And so, of course, I haven't been able to get into it. And so my husband Googled the error code that came up, and it seems that we are not alone. There are other people having the same problem.
I've
So
heard that.
what does that say in light of the fact that Michael was talking today about someone whose MyGov account's been hacked? Where's that code going?
Well, I had a guy try and tell me that the ACN, when I questioned the stuff about the ATO, that the ACN had been hacked, the company numbers. And I went, which is ASIC. And I'm thinking, how could ASIC get hacked and the public not know about it? It's quite frightening, really, that this could happen. But we all need to speak out and talk about it because somebody will know someone that this has happened
Well,
to.
I'd be interested to know if anyone else has had trouble getting into their MyGov account, and if so, what did you do? How was it resolved?
Well, perhaps you could send the ATO a bill for $100,000 for your time trying to get into your MyGov account.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I'm full of good ideas.
Yeah, that's a really good one. I reckon they'll be up for that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Just write it off.
But they'll be the first ones to whinge if they don't get our tax returns. I don't know what happens if you don't do a tax return.
They'll just chase you. They'll just chase you up. I think you get actually 2 years to lodge a tax return. I'm pretty sure. I mean, companies do, yeah. But I'm not sure.
Well, this is the first year that I've done one when I haven't actually worked, because I finished working.
Yeah.
In August last year. So, and my husband.
Just say you're a corporation. Just say you're a corporation, the Susanna's Corporation, and you won't have to pay it at all if you're a globalist. All these big companies that don't pay any tax in this country.
Well, that's a good idea. I think I've got an ABN. If I used to have an ABN, I probably still do. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you would have, unless you cancelled it. It'll still be there. Yeah, it'll still be there. Yeah, so you could look it up. You do a look up, and it'll have your name there.
Oh, okay. I might do. I probably won't be able to get into that either. I have no faith.
Maybe that's been hacked. No, it's scary with the whole digital ID thing, because it's not what we want. Most definitely not.
Well, last night my husband read me something, because we would like to go and visit his mother in Hungary next year, and he said that he was reading that all European countries are going to require fingerprint. He read me the list of things they're going to require if you cross over their borders.
Well, America do that already. When you enter America, you do your fingerprints. And your passport's digital anyway, because you look at your eyes through that scanning thing. And when we were there recently, we had the choice. If we didn't want to do that, we could have done it manually, which just would have actually would have been quicker. No one was doing it manually, so it would have been quicker actually. So it sort of already is here. I think this is just fear factor,
Good. That's good, because I don't want to not go to Hungary. That's for sure.
No, I'm pretty sure they'll do it the same as America, and it's been like that in America. You do this thumb, you do this finger, then you do this one, then you do that one.
Hey, Jan. Jan got into her MyGov today. Okay, good job, Jan. Jan, I've been to MyGov and it worked okay for me. That makes me very nervous that it's just me then.
Oh, it won't be just you. There'll be others.
Why just me and my husband? Yeah. Anyway, sorry, ravishing on. Where's our guest? Who is our guest? Please tell us about our guest.
Hopefully, teens, we've sorted the problems and she can come in. Yes, it's looking good.
Made it.
Well done.
And you don't look stressed. Oh, I forgot. She's been a school principal. She doesn't get stressed.
Takes more than that.
That's exactly right. So thank you for joining us tonight, because you do have a really good story. And what sort of story? Truthful facts. That's what we try and do on our little Cardi Girl. We all do as podcasters. So, Tine, perhaps start us what you were doing when your working career.
I'm a retired school principal, and I loved every minute of my career. I just wanted to teach from the time I was a little girl. I used to teach my teddies and dolls, and I was just made to do that. And I loved it. And I started to get very upset toward the end of my career when the children were being taught things that I actually would not teach. But, when you've got littlies coming into prep and grade 1 and being told just because they've got a vagina doesn't mean they're a girl, I couldn't do that. I got a few raps over the knuckles, but that's okay. Better than teaching the kids the wrong thing or upset, I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. So I retired in 2020.
So when did that begin, telling kids that they weren't girls and they weren't boys?
Oh, well, it was only really coming in toward the end of my career. There were other things in the social science books that were a little bit off, and I just kind of skimmed over those. But this was when it started to to, well, what happened? It's kind of digressing from the issue of abortion, but I received an email on my principal's email asking me what pronoun I'd like to be used. And I sent it back. I didn't have to, it wasn't mandatory, but I couldn't sit by with that either. So I sent an email back and said, I will not partake in this leftist Marxist rubbish. And I think it's ridiculous. And so, of course, I got a phone call from higher up saying, oh, what have you done now? And I said, well, that's just the way I feel. And I was told, well, you didn't have to answer it. I said, no, I didn't have to answer it. I wanted to. I want to answer it. And I was asked if I knew who sent it out. And I said, I don't have a clue. And I was told, well, really, you should be worried because that came directly from the Director General. And I said, well, good, now he knows how I feel. And I was told to keep my principal's hat on and not see the things that were going on. And that's when I said to him, look, as long as my granddaughter is going into grade 1 to be told what I just said, that just because she's got a vagina doesn't mean she's a girl, I'm sorry, but I won't shut up. And
did the Director General have a pronoun?
That's a very good question. He was still Mr. when I left, as far as I know.
Who knows?
Well, we're trying to teach grammar and we're saying they when there's one person standing there. No, it doesn't work for me.
No. And anyway, you shouldn't call anybody he or she. You call them by their name.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's bad manners.
Well, that's right.
It's bad manners.
Yeah, you use the name.
Yeah, you use
that's
the name.
Right.
So you don't need
Four
a
little
pronoun.
things.
You actually have a name unless somebody higher up thinks we have no value.
That's right. Or unless the school and the child change the name without telling mum and dad, and that has been known to happen too with the transitioning.
Yes. Well, tell us about what you about to follow the abortion path, because I know this is horrific, and I was talking to someone today about it and they didn't really know what I was speaking about. I said, well, you won't see it on mainstream media.
No.
So, yeah.
Well, I just can't come to terms with a full-term baby being murdered. Like this is a brand new baby, right? Just cover my face for a minute. This is a perfect newborn baby. There's nothing more beautiful, more innocent, more precious than that little baby. And yet, the day before, that little baby looked exactly the same, but his mother could have had him killed. That's not abortion, that's murder. And I cannot cope. I cannot cope. There are people who are desperate for children. I have a friend who has 3 children adopted from 3 different nationalities. They've grown up now, but I've known them since the kids were little, and they're the most wonderful family, absolutely wonderful. So, and the children are loved, and they know they are loved, and they love their mum and dad. So, I have no words. I have no words.
I don't know how anybody could even accept to do that. It's as you said, it's murder by the medical fraternity.
Absolutely. And look at this one. This comes from Live Action. This actually happened in 2017, so we need to readjust because this is not something that's just started to happen. Here we go. A beautiful, beautiful little baby. This baby survived an abortion at 35 weeks and was saved by a nurse who heard her crying inside a plastic bag. I mean, how can you not cry? No. I can't. They're not allowed to. They're not allowed. If they survive abortion, they're not allowed to receive any medical care, not even a cuddle. They're to be put in a little cupboard or a plastic bag even until they die. And Dr. Joanna Howe says some of them die of hunger. Well, that doesn't happen in 5 minutes. It's horrendous. What have we done to our society?
And who's driving this? Who is trying to bring this to bring it in as a law? Are they using those babies for something? Are they?
Yes, selling body parts. And, yeah, well, this is something I shared with on Cafe Lockdown, but I probably should share it again because it was David Daleiden in 2013 in America. He went underground into some of the biggest Planned Parenthood clinics across America, and he did that for 30 months and took a lot of footage. And he was seeing them creating transactions for baby body parts. Technicians were harvesting body parts from the day's abortions. They were being packaged up and shipped off to different customers. So in 2015, he started to release these undercover video series. Had something like 3 million views in the first week. All of a sudden, there was a search warrant on his house, and Planned Parenthood's top lawyer in California had specifically instructed that Planned Parenthood wanted all of the cameras and video footage, and they wanted to punish him and stop him from telling the truth. So he was prosecuted. He was then, I think it was a 9-year investigation, which you can imagine the stress and the trauma of that and the cost to somebody for that. And the state prosecutors launched this criminal prosecution and saw the undercover videos that implicated the illegal sale of baby body parts. In the end, the state of California made a plea deal with him, and after 9 years, and he had no jail time, no conviction recorded, absolutely zero punishment, which was he did plead guilty, I think, to one of the many charges against him, which was probably the videoing, because it probably wasn't terribly legal to video inside. But that's all. So he announced that it was a huge victory. But, yeah, there's proof there that they take the body parts.
And then who benefits? The mother giving birth? Well, we know that the medical side would. Does the mother giving birth benefit?
Now, if you have an abortion anywhere in Australia after 20 weeks gestation, you receive a payment of $4,326.57 for having your baby aborted after 20 weeks. You tell me what for? Well, we know what for. We just talked about it. And now what we're finding is that there's gender selective abortion. No reason is needed. No reason at all is needed. I listened to an interview with a Dr. Mark Hobart. He had a couple who were his patients, had been for several years. They had a little girl. Mum was pregnant again, and they came in to see him. Dad did all the talking. Mum was very quiet, as he said, was often the case, because it's Dad who pushes for it more often than not. And they said they wanted this child aborted because it was a girl. It was very late stage. And he said it was against his religious beliefs. They accepted that. They went off and they had their abortion elsewhere and then came back to him as his patients. However, the Dr. Mark Hobart just couldn't handle it, and he reported the doctor who carried out the abortion, only to receive a letter back from APRA saying the doctor had done nothing wrong, and then he was the target of an investigation because he had demonstrated disregard for his obligations.
Maybe that's another reason they went after him.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
He'd already ruffled the feathers. Yeah.
You don't hear that part.
Yeah. Yeah. So there are a lot more females being aborted than males now. And so there is actually Dr. Joanna Howe has a petition, and I believe the link will be put up on the screen, to stop the silent genocide of baby girls. But there are a lot more. But, you know, abortion is now the leading cause of death in Australia above everything else. 88,000 babies, over 88,000 babies in one last year.
Oh.
Beautiful, precious little lives created by God. So,
You think that could it be abortion because they do so many tests now and they go, oh, something's wrong with it?
Well, they do say that, but then there are parents I know who don't have the abortion. I've heard of it several times, and they end up with a perfectly healthy, wonderful little baby.
I know, what worries me.
They're not always right.
Yeah, it's exactly what worries me. I've got a friend who her daughter had 2 scans at 20 weeks, and the first lady who did the first scan was a bit all over the shop, and my friend's daughter didn't feel like she was paying attention, and she said that she thought that there was something that she was seeing that she didn't like the look of and sent her off for a scan somewhere else. So she went and had this second scan, and of course that person had already been alerted to the fact that the first person had seen something they didn't like, so they sort of were like, oh, I don't know if I can see something I don't like, couldn't make up their mind. So then they sent her off to have an amniocentesis, and so she had to wait, I think it was 8 or 10 days for the results of that. And fortunately it came back fine. But as you have said, Tine, people have these tests and they come back and they say that the child has got XYZ wrong with them.
Yeah.
And then they decide, well, no, we're going to go ahead with the pregnancy, and the baby's born with nothing wrong. So
yeah,
that's right. Just because those tests doesn't mean you have to have them. Just because.
That's right.
And that's, you know, like I just feel like my friend's a vet, and she said that the worst thing that happened to vets was the availability of too many tests for all the dogs. And dogs and cats. She said, like, she's an older lady. She said, back in my day, you gave them antibiotics, anti-inflammatories, or you put them to sleep. It was simple. Like,
well, yeah, like we're saying.
So you don't. Otherwise, you can just keep chasing your tail to try and find things wrong. That.
Yep.
Yeah, like too many. You know what I'm saying? Too many tests lead to an outcome that someone's going to choose to have an abortion, and it may not even be needed. Yeah,
that's right. And the tests are not conclusive, and neither is the identifying the gender of the baby. No, it's not always accurate.
No.
So I had people I know, beautiful couple, they were expecting their first baby and they were told there was something dreadfully wrong with her and she would not survive at birth, and they've pressured this couple to have an abortion. And this couple said, look, God gave us this baby and God will take it when he wants to take it.
Yep.
And the little girl was born, and it always makes me cry to think about it. They had her for an hour, and she spent that hour holding her daddy's little finger. And they wouldn't be without those memories for anything, not for anything.
No.
Yeah,
so,
that's right.
Yeah, it's life.
Well, it is. And life is, somebody's just said each life is so precious, or Jan said that, and it is so precious, each life. Everybody's life is as precious as everybody else's, but unfortunately we're taught that we're not equal.
That's right. We are. Yeah, it's just a terrible thing.
Cruel. It's actually evil.
Well, the mental...
That's the only word I can...
It is terribly evil. And there's another doctor, Dr. Steve Hammond. He's a 28-year-old and he was very well on his way to becoming an OBGYN. And he was carrying out abortions, but first trimester. And he said he was able to turn a blind or a deaf ear to the cries of the mother, and just go about doing it as he would an autopsy, until a 16-year-old girl came into him and she was overweight, so you couldn't really tell she was pregnant. She said she was in her first trimester. So he inserted the cannula and expected just a tiny bit of fluid to come out, but about a litre came out and he knew immediately something was wrong and he felt sick. And then the baby kicked him. And he said it was just like his own baby son kicking him. And he was devastated, and that was the last abortion he did. But he now counsels many patients who have had abortions for the adverse physical, there are, people don't realise there are physical effects too, and psychological effects that remain with them forever. And he includes himself in that, having had that experience. The painful memories just haunt them forever.
I wonder
These
what
are
the
babies.
stats. Exactly. I wonder what the stats would be with IVF and abortion. You're saying, 88,000. I wonder how many IVF pregnancies. That'd be a really interesting stat that are done and are successful.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know.
No, that'd be an interesting stat, I reckon.
Yeah.
It does seem like it's hard.
That's another money-making thing, though, isn't it, the IVF? So they'd be, let's say that the babies were all born and then adopted by these parents who are so keen to have the children and can't, but then they don't get to,
need IVF.
The money-making. It's all money-making, isn't it? That's what the bottom line is.
Yeah.
It is.
Well, just going back to the money, when the $5,000 baby bonus was in, the baby birth rate went up very, very high, like significant rise in it. So with this one now, which is nearly $4,500, how many people are going to get pregnant and think, I only have to carry it for 20 weeks, then I get nearly $4,500 and I'm not even saddled with a baby. I mean, if it goes up for $5,000, the birth rate of babies, and you have to keep the baby, how much more will it go up when, my life will just go on as usual? It's horrifying.
Sorry. Go on. What are the criteria that need to be met for someone to have an abortion after that 20-week mark?
Absolutely none. None at all. None at all. Well, I mean, if you can go in and say it's a girl, I want to get rid of it, no reason. No, you do not need a reason. You don't.
Have a physical assessment and a psychological assessment. And
No. 2 doctors have to sign off on it, but the second doctor doesn't even have to see the patient. He can just talk to the first doctor over the phone and sign off on it. And that's it.
Right. So that... Okay. So... Sorry, I've got no words for that. I had been foolishly thinking that it needed to be that the mother's life was in danger if she carried that baby full term, or...
It used to be.
Right.
Yeah. But no assessment is done whatsoever. And now doctors have got to refer whoever comes in, like Mark Hobart was saying, they have no choice but to refer them to someone else for an abortion.
Right.
Are the abortion rules? I'm not really up with them. Are they the same all over Australia, or do they vary from state to state?
They came in state by state. I think Queensland and Victoria were amongst the first, but this is national now. When this full-term abortion came in 2018, we had Palaszczuk, and I've seen the video of her and our then local MP, Julianne Gilbert, and some other politicians in Parliament. They were dancing and clapping when they passed this bill at 2 a.m. without the minor parties even knowing about it. Now, there's your democratic parliament for you.
What drug company does her dad work for?
Oh, yeah.
He works for Gene Technology, actually.
Oh,
I
know that.
think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So it's
how's a woman? Has she got kids? Palaszczuk?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, Palaszczuk. No, I don't think so. the local MP did. I tried to have an interview with her, but she wouldn't see me. So I kept ringing up the office, and finally I said, look, you can take my phone call. As a ratepayer, I have a right to speak to my local MP. So you can either put her through to me now, or I'll come in and I won't move until she sees me. So she got on the phone and she said, I don't want to talk to you because you're a troublemaker and a liar. I said, okay. She said that to me. And then I said to her, what are you thinking? When I saw you dancing when full-term abortion was passed, Julianne, I said, I believe you're a good Catholic. You go to church every Sunday. We had quite a lengthy conversation. And in the end I said, how do you even sleep at night having passed this law to murder full-term babies? And she hung up on me.
Oh.
If only more people would do that. It's easy to do something.
Yeah, because I think, mainstream media aren't on this, are they? You need, to get anything out to the hordes to listen, because the hordes listen to mainstream media. Somebody said to me today, oh, did you see? I went, no, I don't watch that rubbish.
No.
I don't watch that. So no, and I don't trust what they were talking about anyway. So I said, no, don't watch that. So if people were aware of this, I know I've mentioned it to a few people and they've been horrified when you discuss what we're discussing, and surely not. Yeah, it's happening. And,
it is happening.
Haven't you heard of Jodie? Oh, no, so there's
it's
so
happening
much
today, and it's happening a lot. It's just crazy.
It is. So I guess all we can do is awareness, isn't it? But if it's already been,
yeah, we do. That's all we can do, really. There are only two ways of aborting a late-term baby. One of them is to rip the baby's body apart with metal forceps and pull it out piece by piece. Generally, though, a late term, the heart is injected with a potassium. It's a poison that leads to a vaginal birth, and it is extremely, excruciatingly painful for the mother, for the baby, for the baby. They don't care. And then they're not allowed to do anything they are not even allowed to give this newborn, precious little baby, if it survives, anything for the pain. Bobby Catter tried to bring in the Baby Born Alive Act bill, and he was held down. All he was asking for was for care for these newborn babies that were suffering a torturous death. Totally held down.
I mean, you wouldn't even do that with an animal.
No,
we have them put down. That's crazy, isn't it?
Maybe if they put them down, that then does become real murder. Maybe that's how they're evading.
Yeah, but maybe they would. But just to give them something for the pain, even the whole thing is insane. But no.
Well, the whole thing is insane, totally insane. But what I'm saying is they can hide and say, oh, we had to abort it because, it was coming early. Yeah. But if they actually physically inject it and kill it once the baby, because that's what it is, they're killing the child. Once they kill that child after it comes out of the womb, then it's murder. But while it's inside the womb, is that how they view it? I don't know.
Queensland health staff have even protested the late-term abortion policy that has resulted in newborns dying of hunger and other things because of failed abortions. Dr. Joanna Howe, I think everybody's heard of Dr. Joanna Howe, an Adelaide law professor. She's doing amazing work in this area. To quote her, she said, these newborns are left gasping for air, struggling to breathe, crying in distress on a metal kidney dish or plastic urine dishes for hours. It's barbaric and inhumane. And as you just said, we would not do this to our animals. No pain relief is given. It's a cruel and torturous death. People don't
how do we
realise.
find out do you know actually who moved the bill, the initial bill to bring this through into Australia? Which politician? Because somebody had to move it. That would be, we
Don't
need to find out
know.
who it is, because that person's name needs to be splattered everywhere. Somebody will have to put that bill forward.
I know that Katrine Hildyard, she's an MP, she was a lead Labor voice to continue killing via the injection. She organised a parliamentary briefing to convince politicians to vote, that this could continue. And she was also, get this, the Minister for Child Protection, the Minister for Women, and the Prevention of Domestic and Family Violence, while she was the lead Labor voice for full-term abortion.
What was her name? What was her name?
Katrine, Katrine, Hildyard, Hildyard.
And she was from Queensland.
I believe she's a South Australian, I think.
There you are, Susanna, research. Katrine Hildyard.
Hang on, do a quick Google.
Now.
Yeah, do. One of our own councillors here in Mackay said we can't go backwards on abortion, and she's really proud of that stance. Well, haven't we gone backwards? We've become murdering society.
No, it just sums up a lot of the things in the last few years, doesn't it?
It does. It absolutely does. Now, most people have heard of...
Oh, God.
Sorry?
Yeah, she's here in South Australia, you're right.
Yeah, I think she's South Australia.
Yeah, she is. A member for the South Australian House of Assembly. Great. Member, Minister for Child Protection, Minister for Women and the Prevention of Domestic and Family Sexual Violence.
That's it.
Contradiction.
Lovely
plus.
lady. Lovely lady.
I wonder what her background was.
I
don't know.
Hang on,
Sorry?
I'll show you. She went to Flinders Uni. Hang on, honourable.
No, not at all.
Not honourable. Got a husband. Lucky man. Here we go. Born in Adelaide, grew up in a posh suburb. Yes. During her childhood, her mother was the victim of domestic violence, which shaped her passion on the issue. Clinton High School, Flinders University.
Well, wouldn't you think if you were a victim of domestic violence?
Nothing specifically good, no.
It'd be opposite. You'd be wanting to nurture and care and love.
Yeah. There's no conscience. There's just no conscience. Stephen Miles said when it was passed, full-term abortion was passed in 2018, that it wouldn't make any difference to the abortions. It doubled. It doubled in the first, well, it's quite a long time since I've actually written down that stat, so it's probably even higher now. So,
another good stat would be, are you encouraged? Well, the money might be a bit of it, but are you encouraged? I wonder.
Yeah. Well,
so how do we get more people aware of this? Because
it's evil.
I know that Joanna and the girls are doing their social media campaign, the bird flip. But yeah, but I mean, not everyone's on social media. I mean, I suppose they are. The young people are. I don't know, but it's one of those. It's also it's a dirty little secret, isn't it? It's the country's dirty little secret that
it is. The churches.
No one would believe.
Yeah, the churches. Do they get it out?
Where are the churches?
Yeah,
where are they?
Exactly.
Where are they? Why are they not standing up?
Well, they stood down with COVID, didn't they?
That's a very good point, actually. The churches.
The churches. So maybe all the parishioners in those churches, they would not be aware. Now, if they were aware of this, is it really a Christian thing to accept? Or not even Christian? Is it any human thing to accept?
It's not human.
It's inhumane, yeah.
Anyway,
Well, we do quite a lot of reels up here on different things, digital ID, smart cities, all of that. I did one on the late-term abortion, and it's had nearly 10,000 views. So we're noticing that people are listening a lot more now, and that's
good.
exciting because people are now wanting to know, and
Yeah.
they're wanting to, a lot of them. But, yeah, I
Exactly.
think the churches leave a lot to be desired as far as standing up for these immoral issues.
I think so. And
Yeah, well, there was plenty of churches that went along with masking and social distancing, weren't there, during the whole shit show?
they were, yeah.
I never owned a mask. The police pulled me up. Yep. I showed them the legislation and they had to leave me alone.
Yeah, well, it was on the Victorian website.
Yeah, well, it's on Queensland. It's on every,
I was driving home last night, beautiful sunny evening here. I was driving home and I went past a bus stop near my house, and there's a woman sitting at the bus stop wearing, I kid you not, a sequined mask because she had a bit of a frock on because she was obviously going out somewhere. And she's sitting at the bus stop in the sunshine at 5 o'clock wearing a sequined mask.
Dazzling.
I was so tempted to go back and ask her, like, what is going through your head, lady? What is going through your head? Like, what? Why?
Exactly, why?
Maybe she had bad breath.
Yeah, well, maybe she's really, really ugly. Really ugly. I imagine it must just be ugly.
She might have been looking for a job. Might have been waiting for a job.
Well, you see people, they're the only person in the car and they're wearing a mask.
Oh, convertible.
Riding a bike.
I know.
Still.
Riding a bike.
Still.
No, you gotta, yeah.
Oh, dear.
So the churches, they're not upholding the true.
No.
They're not teaching. They're not teaching.
No, and like sovereign, like people make up their own mind what they want to do about masking and yeah, and they need to. As I say, it's like a dirty little secret, this late-term abortion, because I've watched so many of those street interviews that Joanna Howe's girls do, and they ask people in the street whether they are aware of late-term abortions.
Yes, I saw that. People don't know.
And people that the people that they interview either have no idea and are quite taken aback, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I had no idea," or they say, "Oh no, I've got no problem with that."
Yeah.
I don't think they understand. I don't think they understand. It's not just the word abortion. It's what goes with it.
Yeah, it needs to be really perfectly.
A massive topic, but if you go back to churches, the church's responsibility, whether you're religious or not, we all know the church's responsibility is to share the teachings of Jesus. Well, can you see Jesus putting up with full-time pregnancy murder? No way.
Do you think there's become an overlap with miscarry and abortion? So when people hear abortion, they think of miscarry?
No, I don't think so. Not in my experience, anyway.
No, people are just ignorant, I think, of the fact. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
they are. Yeah. They really are.
And I've said it before and I'll say it again. It really is quite alarming, that the stupidity of people, really.
It is.
It never ceases to amaze.
Yeah, it just does my head.
At least it gives us something to talk about. Yeah.
There's really no excuse for it anymore. Like, there's so many opportunities to educate yourself or to be in. Yeah.
I know.
It's just too easy. Yeah, it's too easy to kill your baby. Just too easy. And then you end up with a pocket full of cash.
That's just nuts. That's just nuts. I didn't know that, and I'm ashamed to say I didn't know that, and I should have known that.
Yeah, I did know that.
You did know that?
Yeah, I knew that. Yeah,
because
basically, sorry, it's like when I had staff and the girls would have babies, and then I would pay them 20 weeks of, I think it was 16 at the time. I think it went up. and I had to pay their. So I'd get the money from the government, take the tax out, then I'd have to pay the girls.
Oh, yes,
Why
yes.
it just didn't go straight from Centrelink, I'll never know. I suppose it employed another 100 people to process it. So I that's why I knew that you got it when you had a baby, and then I had heard that at 20 weeks it kicked in again, which doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
No.
It's like everyone throw money at it and people will shut up,
Yeah. There are people rising up across Australia, these marches for all sorts of reasons, and I know for us in Mackay it includes this, but the numbers that are rising up are phenomenal. And so a lot of people are waking up. They really are.
I hope so. Yeah, I do hope so.
Yeah, that's
I pray.
Yes, we should finish on a positive note. So you can see that, can you? You can see that there's more people attending marches in your area. And
absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Mum, I mean, like there are families coming in now, and people can see it. It is. There's a lot more. I know even for myself, and I'm just a tiny little thing up here in Mackay, but, people are recognising me and saying, pulling me up in Kmart or wherever I am and saying, thank you so much for what you're doing. Please keep doing it. And I mean, I'm just, and not really on a big scale of things, I'm nobody, but people they must be listening. They must be listening.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Because people talk. Because people forget, even if it's not on social media, people still discuss things and talk about things. Even if they don't always get it right, they still discuss things,
That's right.
Can I tell you one very funny little thing about discussing things? You know how we had our holiday house trashed when they were looking for the person down here? I was at a bus the other day and 2 police officers came over and I had the photos. So I showed them the photo and I said, what would you do if somebody did this to your house? And they said, have you reported it? And I said, yeah, but you guys did it.
They would have been mortified.
It was really, I just had them, they had really nowhere to go. It was pretty funny.
I love that. Yeah.
You must be entitled to compensation, surely.
Oh, well, we've put it in. Who knows? Watch this space. But anyway, let's see. But
just one more thing, if I can.
Yes.
Citizen, everyone knows George Christensen. Citizengo.org has a petition. They've had some really good success stories with their petitions and stopped quite a bit happening. If you go on to citizen.org, you will find on the homepage, scroll down, and citizengo, one word lowercase, .org, and scroll down. You will find all of their petitions on the homepage, and then you can load more when you get to the bottom. And I think this one, which is about the late-term abortion, I think I checked it today and it's on the second page. But that's the picture, that's the photo that you will see beside that petition. And then you can read about it as well. So that is a brilliant website for standing up. And everyone can do something. Everyone can do something.
So it was citizengo.org.
Yeah.
Okay.
Citizengo.org. Yeah. And let's go for adoption rather than abortion, hey?
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
And also, as you said, Tine, you're so right. Everybody can do something and it's just a question. Just a
That's
question.
It. Yeah. What can I do? Said 27 million Australians. Well, if everyone stands up, we've won.
Yeah, and we are one. We're one human race.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
We are.
We're all one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you so much for coming on, and perhaps we need to have you on a little bit longer to see how we're going down the track.
Yeah.
Will you come back? Will you come back with us?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you
so much for having me. Thank you very much. Lovely to meet you.
Kelly,
too.
we're ready to go. Thank you for... Is she there, I wonder? She might be. Or Michael, maybe. Can someone take us off air, please? We're ready to go. Thank you.
Bye.
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 There is nobody there, nobody left to care. Gone with the penny arcade, where we spent our childhood days. When I take a look around, all I see are heads bowed down, with eyes affixed on Samsung's screen, watching someone else's dream. Well, the bus conductor's gone. Just swipe your card and head for home. That old treehouse where we played sits forgotten and decayed. When I take a look around, all I see are heads bowed down, with eyes affixed on Samsung's screen, watching someone else's dream. So no more the penny arcade, KFC is there instead, and that tree we used to climb is sad and lonely most the time. When I take a look around, all I see are heads bowed down, with eyes affixed on Samsung's screen, watching someone else's dream. And when I look around, all I see are heads bowed down, with eyes affixed on Samsung's screen, watching someone else's dream, watching someone else's dream.